Well, substantially, the law of increasing returns means that you'll get back more than you give out, whether it's good or whether it's bad, whether it's positive or whether it's negative. And that's the way the law of nature works. Whatever you give out, whatever you do to or for another person, or whatever you give out from yourself comes back to you, greatly multiplied, in kind. No exception to that whatsoever. Again, there is the question of timing. The coming back process doesn't always come back very quickly. Sometimes it's longer than you expect. But you may be sure that if you send out some negative influence, that it's going to come back on you sooner or later, and you may not recognize what caused it, but it'll come back. It won't overlook you. That law of increasing returns is eternal. It's automatic. It's working all the time. And it's just as inexorable as the law of gravitation. There's nobody in the world that can circumvent it or go around it or have it suspended for one moment. It's operating all the time. The law of increasing returns means that when you go out of your way to render more service and better service than you paid to render, it's impossible for you not to get back more than you really did, because eventually that law of increasing returns takes care of that. If you're working for a salary, for instance, it takes care of it in additional wages, in greater responsibilities, in promotions, in opportunities that'll come to you to go into business for yourself. In 1,001 different ways it'll come back. And oftentimes this coming back process doesn't come back from the source to which you render the service. Don't be too afraid to render service to a greedy buyer or to a greedy employer. It makes no difference to whom you render this service. If you render it in good faith and in good spirit and keep on doing it as a matter of habit, it's just as impossible for you not to be compensated as it is to be and not to be at the same time. Well, that law of increasing returns. Now, just remember that when you start applying this principle, that you don't have to be too careful about the person whom you render it. As a matter of fact, what you should really do is to apply this principle with everybody you come into contact, no matter who it is. Strangers and acquaintances and business associates and relatives alike. Make it your business to render useful service wherever you touch human relations in any shape, form, or fashion. Because the only way that you can increase the space that you occupy in the world, and by the space that you occupy, I don't mean necessarily the physical space, but the mental and spiritual space as well, will be determined by the quality and the quantity of the service that you render. The quality and the quantity plus the mental attitude in which you render it. Now, those are the determining factors as to how far you'll go in life, how much you'll get out of life, how much you'll enjoy life, and how much peace of mind you'll have.